Super. I like Sadie. I like Sadie. I like Sadie.
Hot down, Marston! Hot down, Marston! Hot down, Marston!
Super.
The catnip gets its slice. The catnip gets its slice. The catnip gets its slice.
And we're live. Greetings. Happy Saturday, friends. Anonymous donor, welcome. Red Dead Times, hello again. O-Dog, greetings. Happy Saturday. LOL, live in the middle of the college football rivalry Saturday. The Ohio State versus Michigan game. Glennis Coleman, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. O-Dog, this stream is mostly for the Europeans and the Asians to see and also I've never streamed in the morning before. Wanted to see what that was like. The dog has been walked. Didn't really have breakfast. I had coffee and I'm having green tea. She had breakfast. And I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. We had a very successful Free Roam Fridays live stream last night, first, and that was a lot of fun. So we'll do that again. Saturday streams and Sunday streams will be more random. We'll just have a conversation and see what it's like. Talk to you guys for about an hour or so. See how it goes. O-Dog, yes, I know, it's worldwide, which is fantastic. Indeed it is. I like having this game appeal to non-Americans, because it's so essentially American to me. So from that perspective, I feel like an ambassador to this game, an ambassador to this country, and the best things that this country has to offer. Potatoes. Howdy. Also, I'm about to sleep. Okay, well, have a good night, friend. And I'm glad you're here. And I liked your username. What's not to like? Taters. Precious.
You're all right now, girl.
You like my Halloween t-shirt? I wore the heck of out of this t-shirt during October. but I wasn't doing any live stream, so I thought I should wear it now. Red Dead Times, what is your favorite horse breed in Red Dead Redemption 2? Probably this one, the Piebald Tobiano Hungarian Half-Bred. But of course, I love Biscuit, the Silver Dapple Pinto Missouri Foxtrotter. This Piebald is a great all-around horse, though, for Arthur. Also love the Brindle Thoroughbred.
Now, who we got here?
Buell, of course,
You come one
and
step
Rachel
closer,
for
we'll kill
John.
you dead. Yes, sir.
But my favorite
We'll be off
all-around
right now.
horse for Arthur is probably the Piebald. Potatoes, good night, everybody. Sorry. Really glad you checked in. I appreciate that. And you have a great weekend, friend. Sometimes I dream this game. Oh, dog, I did. I haven't had a chance to read it, but I will check it out later today.
That it, you bastards? Oh, shit.
Always good to have a routine O'Driscoll inspection. Is everyone having a good Saturday? How's your weekend looking?
What the hell was that? That's him! Shoot him dead!
Don't forget, these guys have friends. Show up. Most inopportune. Glynis, how are you? I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Thanks for being here. Sadie is basically recovered from her Thanksgiving experience, where she got to eat far more meat than she probably ate a week's worth of meat in one day. Steak, chicken, pork, a little bit of a corn dog. Yeah, and plus she got to see 2 of her litter mates from when she was a baby, so that was cute. But she spent most of the next day asleep, and she's not asleep now. She's just sitting on the couch looking at me, wondering why I'm talking so much to her but not looking at her. Bunny the Bear, greetings. Hey Super, what's up? I know Bunny the Bear. I know that username. Either a very scary bear, or either a very scary bunny or a very friendly bear. The choice is yours. Bunny the Bear, happy Thanksgiving. Welcome. I believe this is your first live stream. We are going to be live streaming Friday through Monday, in addition to our regularly scheduled videos. Free Roam Fridays and Marston Mondays will now be live streams, and then we'll just do random streams on Saturday and Sundays. see how you're all doing, check in with you. Bunny the Bear, your official PC correspondent, saying to you, brother, yes, I do have a PC now, a laptop. That's what I use for Save Wizard, so we could get the liver chestnut Hungarian half bread, Boadicea. We'll have the liver chestnut in the Free Roam Fridays playthrough. I believe it's necessary for Arthur.
Help a blind man.
Marco, greetings, friend. Just saw. I'm glad you checked in. Happy Thanksgiving. I believe Canadian Thanksgiving is a different time, but happy weekend, I guess. Happy Saturday. How are things in Greece, the cradle of civilization and democracy? Although the ancient Greeks had slaves. No one seems to remember that. It was democracy for some. Don't say you never learned anything on my live streams. Still, they invented basically everything, all things cultural, drama, dance, art, music. Well, instead of saying invented, I would say the Greeks were one of the first cultures to put it all down, so you remember it. Bunny the Bear, did you know, bro, Captain Monroe's saddle has a unique wolf-shaped horn? I looked for that. I recall he sent either an email or it was a comment. I looked for it in a couple different playthroughs, and and I wasn't spawning the wolf horn. I was really looking forward to making a video on that, but it's like I've got so many different playthroughs and versions running, and I don't know where that wolf horn appears apart from that mission. Bunny the Bear, probably a gift from Rains Falls. That's conjecture, I guess. Conjecture is all we have, and I would agree. He did a lot of service for the tribe, and I'm sure Rains Falls was grateful. But regrettably, I cannot find it in any one of my playthroughs. I looked. I recall, I looked. Sipping a little green tea and water. But I will eat lunch after this, which will be leftovers. Thanksgiving left teriyaki. I'm gonna have teriyaki tri-tip with green beans and broccoli and a little bit of rice. I eat variations of teriyaki almost every day, I think. Teriyaki chicken, teriyaki salmon, teriyaki beef. I understand that teriyaki is basically just soy sauce and sugar and maybe a little mirin, rice wine vinegar. And it's not the best thing for me, but I enjoy it. Luis Salgado. Hello, greetings from Portugal. I'm a big fan of your plays in Red Dead Redemption. What's your settings for aiming? Can you share your settings? Thanks, and keep up the good work, brother. Luis, there, welcome, first of all, and I don't know. I think they're just the default settings. I don't do anything special. I just start playing the game. I pay more attention to the video settings. I up the contrast. That's about all I do as far as settings go. And then I always want the heads-up display and subtitles. Marco, oh, that sounds delicious, friendo. Yeah, that's what I eat every day, basically. Glennis Coleman, glad to hear your Thanksgiving went well. Yes, we had a great Thanksgiving. I went to my auntie's, who was the one who gave me Sadie, and she had two of Sadie's litter mates for Sadie to reunite with, and also live chickens in the backyard. So Sadie got to see her first live chicken, and she was very confused but excited. Joe Tad, I just ordered your favorite tea for my wife. And coffee. I have coffee. Thank you, friend. I really appreciate that. Luis Salgado, thank you, brother. Thank you. Obligato,
It's
I believe.
okay, girl, just a scratch.
I was watching some guitar tutorials on bossa nova that were in Portuguese, but with no subtitles. But you know, music is an international language, so I could just watch along with what he was doing and listen to his very pleasant language. And basically understanding. Glennis Coleman sounds good. It was good. I had a great time. Thank you. Marco, I'm glad you had a good holiday. And Marco says hello to O-Dog. Glad the mods are here. I feel better if we have mods. It's not really an official stream unless a mod shows up. Yes, I brought home maybe 2 weeks of leftovers. Bunch of meat. And it'll easily go for 2 weeks once I add veggies and rice to the deal.
There we go.
Not sure what we were trying to do here. I think we were looking for one of Francis's rock carvings. For the weekend streams, I'm just using old footage from Pre-Run Fridays. I just put up an hour's worth of footage, and then we have a nice conversation, you and me. Marco, I love that horse. In chapter 3, at the moment, didn't start the mission with Hosea and Dutch, currently exploring and doing challenges. What challenges? For the Free Roam Fridays live stream, we will do the Master Hunter, of course. Luis Salgado, do you have any tips for someone that is starting Red Dead Redemption 2? I'm in love with this game. Oh, many tips. Don't rely on cans. Eat a lot of meat. It's cheap. It's a lot cheaper. Get yourself a decent horse. Start working on the Legends of the East Satchel. So get all the camp upgrades and buy Mr. Pearson some leather working equipment. Take your time. There's only one first playthrough, and I remember my first playthrough. Regrettably, from chapter 3 on, I pretty much did a speed run because I just wanted to know what happened. And I really wish I had taken my time. Marco, Horseman 9 and also Explorer. Later we will finish Bandit 1 and the Survivalist 10. Only have 3 more fish to catch. Wow, you're cleaning up. And Luis, I would say try some challenges, but pretty much just have fun and take your time and talk to everyone.
Whoa.
Here's the taxidermy lady's house. There's no way to break in. But she has some interesting statues. Interesting garden statues. Let's just say that. At least there's a full game commentary on this channel, which took years for me to finish just because I took my time. but I'm really proud of that. That's, it's a big piece of work. Marco, haha, yeah, I'm not doing any missions nor encounters in Chapter 3, just exploring. There's so much to explore. Can you hear Sadie chewing on her bony bone? The mic's picking it up. There, that's her. She's under the desk right now. I'm working on the live stream and Sadie's working on a bone. Luis Salgado. Yes, this game has a slow pace. Really like to take my time to explore. It's one of the best, if not the best games. And in my opinion, certainly the best open world.
What are you doing? Run from me. You better keep your goddamn mouth shut about this.
What the hell do you want from me?
You goddamn hearing me?
Listen, fine. Barely a word escapes this mouth anyways.
Now, walk away while you still can. Keep that mouth shut.
Portugal has their own tradition of horse riding and horsemanship. The horses were brought over to the new world by the Portuguese and the Spaniards,
Feller's dead down there.
I believe.
Must have gone off the cliff.
Yep.
Portugal, such a tiny country that once
Way there.
ruled the entire world through technology, basically, because they were great navigators, and they had a navy, and you could consider the navy the internet of the old world. We have to get down there. He has a letter. Fun fact, I originally started putting mohawks on Mustangs because I just like to continue the line of the dorsal stripe. And then it annoyed so many people that I just started putting Mustangs on all the horses, just so that they would be unique to the channel. It became a superantonio look, and also because some people are just so passionate against the Mohawks, and they would always leave comments. So it's a little bit of a passive-aggressive troll on my part, but I do sincerely think all the horses look better with Mohawks, except for Biscuit. And I would put a Mohawk on her if we could match that silvery white mane. Glennis Coleman, I love the slow pace. Sometimes I just do trail rides around the map. Can go places in this game I wouldn't ride my real horse. I know what you mean, like down this cliff. Luis Salgado, yes, no need to rush, is amazing to understand the story and who is good and bad in the group. Yes, it's a great story. There's the bride. She looks Norwegian. In my head, I assume she's from Manzanita Post. She's part of that family. But actually, it says her name here. It would be Mildred Barr. That doesn't sound Norwegian at all. Never mind. That just sounds like an Old West, old-timey name. Luis Salgado, I love the personality of this game. Yes, it has a great personality. It's a wholesomeness to it. I think because of the horses and all the animals.
Yep.
John Harrington, greetings friend. Hi, I just started playing Red Dead Redemption 1 again. Haven't played it since I played it on PS3 all the years ago. Okay, well, I'm glad you're back. You can play them in order now. Though actually, you'd have to play this game first to play it in order. So strike that. I'm glad you're spending time with Marston.
Whoa, easy.
Some random graves. Every town has a grave site. Have you noticed that? Even Van Horn. Even Emerald Ranch. Every town also has a scaffold for public executions because there was no TV or internet.
Okay then, girl. Yeah.
John Harrington, but it doesn't beat Red Dead Redemption 2, still the best game I have played. Yeah, really hate the horse mechanics in Red Dead 1. They leave a lot to be desired. Luis Salgado, the plot, the betrayals, the mystery behind every story. The details in this game are insane. I agree. They're amazing. Glynis Coleman, I just started Red Dead 1 a couple of weeks ago. I'm still learning the controller. It's different than Red Dead 2. Yes. And I would say inferior. But, you know, the game is like 15, almost 20 years old. Red Dead 1, as much as I like the lore and the history and its place in the Red Dead universe, anytime I play it, I just want to get back to this game. I just miss Arthur. And I miss these controls and this map. Looks like we're going for an old-fashioned horse jump. If we can get the piebald into position. The great thing about the horse jumps for me, as far as content, was it was funnier if Arthur didn't make it. This bridge is also another ambush point. 12 viewers, appreciate you being here. Thank you. Happy Saturday. We shall be streaming on the weekends. I have look for a very Arthur Morgan Christmas special I am writing a story about Arthur meeting a gentleman with a snowy white beard and a red suit, who may or not be Kris Kringle. Marco, like you, friendo, this game is my passion. It is difficult to believe, but I have around 13,000 hours in it. I'm not even joking. Even to me, it sounds surreal. Yeah, that is a huge amount of time, but I'm sure I could match you hour for hour. Luis Salgado, I saw in the news that Rockstar is going to release a remastered 4K for PS5 with upgraded graphics and 60 FPS. They are about to announce it soon. Well, I'll make a video on it when they do. I've heard that rumor, but I don't know anything official. It's so hard to parse the truth from rumor online on news sites where they'll basically say anything they want just to generate clicks. So I'll just wait for a Rockstar release to actually tell us what they're planning to do, rather than relying on a news article or another video. I don't want to report on rumor. I don't want to feed that machine. Marco, oh, I believe you, friendo, want to live in this game. Yes, I believe the first year I was playing, I would dream in this game. And that was fascinating to me. But I didn't know if I dreamt that I was in the game or if I was actually playing it, or a combination of the two.
Yep.
And then every now and then, I'll just have random flashbacks when I'm not playing, hunting a cougar, or getting the flax and chestnut Hungarian half-bred, or riding around Emerald Ranch. Did you like the intro? I added a countdown. Not an official countdown, but it's just put another minute on there just to get everyone settled, and to see if we can get any extra viewers. Those countdowns are apps, third-party apps. They're not put out by Streamlabs, or so I don't trust them. I don't trust downloading a third-party app from a company that I've never heard of. I don't know what, just so that I can have an official countdown. So I just made my own. Luis Salgado, this news was in Eurogamer Portugal, a trusted site of games. Okay, I believe you. Marco, it looks awesome. Leroy, hey folks, I'm at work right now. It's my lunch breaks. I totally do not have dog hair all over me. Sat in my car and my phone notified me that superantonio was live. I'll be here for maybe 25 minutes. Happy and honored that you choose to spend your lunch 25 minutes with me in the chat. We're happy to have you here, and glad you're working. I suppose technically I'm working, but it doesn't feel like work. I'm just hanging out with you guys, having a nice conversation. The streams are very addictive. The interaction with the chat, it's the improvisational aspect I really enjoy. It's a free fall. You just show up, and you and the chat build something. You and the chat build the stream. Luis Salgado, do the choices we made in game make any difference in the final or in the Arthur story? Yes, indeed they do.
Okay then.
Every choice leads you in a different direction. It's just like life. And that's all I'll say about the matter. Try not to watch any videos on the subject. Just play it through. In fact, I would just do your first playthrough. I would just get it out, get it over with. It will take about 60 hours, and then start watching videos for your second playthrough, because there will be a second playthrough. However, my biggest regret is I speed ran basically from chapter 4 on. I finished the game in a couple days because I really wanted to see what happened to Arthur. And I wish I'd taken my time.
Great. Hey there, girl.
I hope you're having a good day at work, Leroy. I hope it's going well for you.
You know, can't even be bothered with this. Yeah, that's my girl.
Also interesting, after the streams, I get really hungry. I'm really tired. It's mentally, there's a mental aspect that is tiring for interacting for so long, and but I get really hungry, almost ravenous. So I had a peanut butter sandwich last night after the stream, and that means Sadie had a peanut butter sandwich, so she was happy. Luis, nice. I didn't see any video playthroughs. Yeah, don't watch them. Just enjoy the game and just have fun.
Yep.
Levi, Elijah, hello everyone. Greetings, happy Saturday. Fooling around with the Perlino Andalusian. Fooling around with the Perlino Andalusian in Red Dead Redemption 2. Marco, I'm taking a cheesecake now, haha, and a bit of tea cookies. Cheesecakes are my weakness. Marco, I think cheesecakes are everyone's weakness and downfall. I had some pumpkin cheesecake on Thanksgiving. It was delicious, and also, again, that meant Sadie had a little bit of pumpkin cheesecake. I don't like her eating dairy, but I let her try it, and of course, she loves dairy. Leroy, my vision never allowed me to properly shoot those bottles. Hence, why I'd never accept that guy's challenge to shoot bottles for money. Well, you could probably just upgrade your monitor or get a bigger monitor. I mean, you know, if you have a chance, or I don't know what you're playing on. But it does have a lot to do with your monitor settings. You can up the contrast. You could play this game in black and white if you wanted. It might be fun to do a black and white stream. It's easy enough for me to delete the color in this game. That might be fun. I'll do that. Also, we were talking about Ghost of Tsushima last night. They have a black and white mode. Oh dog, not me. I don't like cheesecake much. Marco, true. Oh, I never tried that one. Now I have to. I bet Sadie enjoyed it. Yeah, her eyes just opened. She had never had, I think, cheesecake or pumpkin cheesecake before, and she loves pumpkins. Her eyes just opened really wide, and you could just see the sugar immediately making her crazy. But she ran around and played with her brother and sister. My partner told me to tell you hi, as she always laughs when I play Red Dead Redemption 2, since I tend to talk to Arthur. Yes, you need to talk to Arthur. I love narrating Arthur. And tell her hi, hello, for me as well. Luis Salgado, I like Dutch. He is a leader and a reference for Arthur. But there is something in him that makes me uncomfortable. Don't know why. Yes, Dutch is very special. I like the relationship between Dutch and Hosea. They were partners. The gang grew from the partnership of Dutch and Hosea. And perhaps Arthur was one of the first hangers-on that they got, that they collected. No, I think it was Dutch, Hosea, and Miss Grimshaw. And they were running scams. And then they found Arthur. And then it grew from there. Leroy agreed, Luis, especially with that encounter with where Mary Beth is reading, and he looms up from behind the wagons. Well, it's a little cult-like joining that gang. And that's the thing about cult leaders. They do enjoy the ready access to nubile young women.
Stay back now!
We were trying to stare down a bear. Didn't go very well. Finally mastered that. Figured out what to do. Basically, you just have to stand your ground and don't use the controller at all. Just put it aside. Now, annoyingly, regrettably, I have to go away from keyboard for a minute because someone, not me, needs to go on the balcony. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, come on.
Won't take long.
Come on. No groping. Okay, we're back. And we're back. I have a little garden set up with some astroturf on the balcony. And I trained Sadie to go there when she needs to go. It rains almost every day here in downtown Saint Denis, so that cleans it up, and plus I just hose it off once a week. Very convenient, so we don't have to go downstairs or go out if she has an emergency. Levi Elijah, I love the piebald Tobian Hungarian half-bred. I always name mine Oreo.
Okay.
Same here, I love that horse. Marco, same Levi, my favorite horse. Leroy, I named mine Lucy after my dog, who has resemblance to the horse, oddly enough. I believe the relationship between man and dog is very close to the relationship with man and horse. I think the only difference is you can ride a horse, and there aren't that many dogs you can ride. But it's basically close. Basically the same, in my mind.
Okay.
The tall house. You only get one encounter with the tall house. But I forgot you could go in here. Leroy, I love Hosea and Dutch's relationship too. If Found it sweet when Hosea was worrying. Dutch held his hand. Fatherly relationship. Changed my mind. Well, I wouldn't say fatherly as much as brotherly. Hosea and Dutch are fairly close in age. I think Hosea is perhaps 5 years older, but they were certainly partners when they were Arthur's age, roaming around, getting into trouble. And then I would say, I've always thought Hosea and Herr Strauss were the same age. Also, has anyone noticed where Miss Grimshaw sleeps? She sleeps at the medicine wagon with Herr Strauss and Mr. Pearson. I've always found that an interesting relationship, very progressive of Miss Grimshaw. Never made a video on it. I stay away from the sexy videos. I just, it's not that kind of channel. I don't make that kind of videos, but I've always found it, I've always like, you go, Miss Grimshaw. I'm happy for you.
All right, girl.
I'm sure when Miss Grimshaw was younger and pre-Scar, she probably had a relationship with Doug before they moved on. Leroy, welcome back, Superantonio. Thank you. Sadie demanded some attention, but that's okay. I don't mind. I mean, that's just part, it's like answering nature's call. A break for nature, as they would say in 1899. Levi Elijah, dog and human relationships are so close. Same with horse. We have a horse. I love him. We'll send a picture of your horse for the next viewer horse show, which will be at 17K. December videos, we have, I'm working on that Christmas story with Arthur and Hortus. Greetings. Hey there, folks. Happy Saturday. I've been working on this video forever. It's like I have all the pieces and I just haven't written the narration. It's going to be called The Ballad of Bill and Kieran. Where I have all the encounters and we talk about Bill's sexuality a little bit. But again, I don't like making those kind of videos.
Good girl. Girl?
Probably why I drag my heels on it. But I have all that content, I should put it out. Hortus, I am in a good mood for some reason. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And I'm glad you're sharing it with the chat and the live stream. I'm happy you're here. 17 viewers. Thank you, friends. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy weekend. If you are new to this channel, greetings. If this is your first live stream, I'm glad you're here. We're going to be live streaming the Free Roam Fridays and Marston Mondays, and then do random Saturday, Sunday streams, in addition to our regularly scheduled content. Even though I've streamed, I believe, for at least a week, maybe 10 days. It took me a long time to develop this much ease in front of the camera and to figure out how to live stream, or at least be comfortable enough and confident enough in my abilities to improvise and have a conversation with you folks and keep this going for an hour or two. Leroy, oh shoot, I thought Hosea was 60-something. Oops, I need to catch up on the details. Well, I believe they're both in their... I think Dutch is like 45-ish, and and Hosea is 55-ish. You aged hard in 1899. There was no sunscreen, and no health care, so diet was better. Yeah, ages, I think Herr Strauss is around 55. Mr. Pearson is around Dutch's age, 45-ish. Arthur, of course, is 35. John, perhaps 25. The girls are, ranging from 18 to early 20s. I believe Tilly is around 18, 19, same as Mary Beth. Who else? Charles is around Arthur's age, 35-ish. 30, 35. Micah, same. Bill, same. So most of them are in their 30s. Luis Salgado, what do you think of Red Dead 3? I would personally like Red Dead 3 to be about a young Dutch and Hosea around 1880, which for me is the golden age of the Wild West. He was in his late 20s when he met Arthur. Yeah, and Arthur was perhaps 13 to 15. Arthur isn't really sure of his age. Porges, Charles, I think, was younger than Arthur. Closer to John's age. Yeah, maybe. But I think Charles is Arthur's closest friend in camp. I mean, he loves John. He loves John as a brother. But as far as friends go, I think Charles is his closest friend. Marco, I would be so glad to play young Hosea. Yes. You could have all their adventures, and you could end with meeting Arthur at age 12 to 14. Lenny, I think, is 18 to 20. He's around Mary Beth's age. Sadie, late 20s. Portis, yeah, for the bulk of the game, there's that rift between Arthur and John. Well, John left camp. That would be a fun DLC, where John leaves the gang for a year because he's freaked out by having a kid, and he's worried that that kid is actually Arthur's kid. Yeah, what did John do for that year? Where did he go? What happened? What sort of adventures did he have? Who did he meet? Not Bonnie. Bonnie's like 16 at this time. Someone. Maybe he went down to Mexico. Had adventures there. Yes, Arthur, at the start of this game, and for most of the game, hasn't forgiven him for abandoning the gang and his family. He sees it as a personal betrayal. In the bear hunting mission, he talks to Hosea about it, about how Hosea mentions that he left the gang with Bessie. And in Arthur's mind, he's so bonded to the family unit that he can't even consider leaving the gang. That's the whole problem with the story. When Mary asks him to run away, and he can't. The heartbreak. I love that. He's so torn. Completely understand. Loyalty has always been my strength and my downfall. Hortus, things were quote-unquote looser back then. Yes, I know what you mean, friend. Marco, I think they only start bonding at the end of Chapter 3, and in Chapter 4 they are slowly becoming brothers again. I think they start bonding in Chapter 2 with the herding, can't herd, can't swim. That's the first real conversation they have. And it's like Arthur is starting to give him a second chance with the train job. And they start Chapter 3 in a better situation, and then with the rescue, if Luis is listening, you should stop listening. I don't know where you are in the story, but the rescue in Saint Denis is where John says thank you. I think that's the point where the relationship is mended. Levi Elijah, could he have met the strange man and doesn't remember in Red Dead 1? Yes, absolutely, because it's the strange man. Luis Salgado, I saw a challenge online that is to go through the whole game without dying. A permadeath playthrough. If you die, you start a new game and lose your save. Yeah, that would be a fun challenge. As long as you got a bunch of health tonics, you should be fine. Marco, yeah, that makes sense. You can see John picked up Arthur's behavior later in the game as the story progresses. Yes, and Arthur started listening to John more. They started understanding where the situation was heading. I love Saint Denis. Fascinated by this town, by this environment.
I've been covered in worse, friend.
Marco, I'm glad you're here. Really appreciate it. I always feel bad when you miss a stream. No pressure to join the stream, but
Hey, mister.
I'm always happy to have you here.
Well, please, take a seat. Got an idea of
Stop by for a shave and a little bit of hair pomade.
Thank you. Looks okay.
Marco, thanks, friendo. I'm very glad to be here and to support you. Well, we support you, friend. We're happy that you're here. This is your chat. This is your family. This is your channel. I'm talking to all of you, to everyone in the chat. I want you to feel that this is your community, and I want you to hang out and talk amongst yourselves and enjoy and have a good time
Excuse me, partner.
and lose yourself in this world for a little bit. And also have a nice conversation with me. One of my first jobs was in a restaurant where I learned basically everything in the restaurant, from the whole business, from dishwashing to cooking, everything except the books, of course. And I worked almost every position, but my favorite, of course, was waitstaff and barista. Anyways, my point I'm saying is I learned so much more working as a waiter than I ever did in college. Daily skills, and what I'm talking about is how to talk to people, how to talk to random different people from all walks of life. And of course, I learned early on that being friendlier, you could make more tips. However, you had to be sincere about it. You had to be real. You couldn't just be, hey, how are you doing? Great to see you. Table for two? No, you had to mean it. You had to show, people can see it. They can see it in your eyes. They can see it in your smile. And you have to do the same thing with a chat. And also, when I make videos, when I'm talking, when I'm doing a narration, I really try to impart some emotion and and affection in my voice and in my narration, as if I'm talking to an old friend, as if we are old friends. Levi Elijah, you get the gold Turkoman from Saint Denis. Yes, indeed you do. Marco, I get that. I learned more in a month of internship at a PR agency than I was 5 years in college. Glynis, I like the wild areas. Stay out of the town, city. I like Valentine and Tumbleweed the best, though. Glynis, that is because you're closer to nature. I do like architecture and interior design, and I just like the time period that Saint Denis is in. It's very happy they have this on the map. It's a fun city to explore. Oh, we're dealing with Black Belt. I forgot about that. We get to see Black Belt today. I like how flirty Black Belt is with Arthur. If she were 10 years younger and Arthur were 10 years older, things might have been happening. But I just think it's funny. Arthur's a little scared of her, and Black Belt's a little flirty. Levi Elijah, Valentine is my favorite town. I'm sentimental about Valentine because it's the first town we could really go to, but I do believe my favorite town has to be Saint Denis. I used to like being in Shady Belle just because Arthur was finally under a roof, but there was just far too much drama in Shady Belle in that chapter, so I prefer to be at Horseshoe Overlook or Clemens Point. Oh dog, I do a couple of these early to get that weapon. Yeah, it's important. We'll get Bolty and the Lancaster, Lanky, the Free Lanky, from the Gunsmith and Rhodes for the Free Roam Fridays playthrough. Might be going, no, we're going for Black Belt. We approach on foot because I don't want to get the horse, I don't want to put the horse in harm's way. Interesting thing about Black Belt is you don't really get a weapon from her, you don't really get anything except experience, and it's fun. Levi Elijah, I love chapter 3. It might be my favorite chapter. You're by a lake. It's so beautiful. Yes, a waterfront view. I remember first playthrough when
You a bounty hunter?
we got a whole different set of enemies per chapter, and I was fascinated by that. I was like, it was just, what's next? What's next? I didn't ever want the game to end, but at the same time, I was speedrunning through chapter 6 just because I wanted to see what happened. Glynis Coleman, have a good afternoon all. Have to run errands. Okay, Glynis, I appreciate you being here. You have a good rest of the week. We will be streaming on Sunday, I don't know when, and of course, Marston Mondays will be live.
Running from him neither.
Marco, similar Levi, I am sentimental about chapter 2, but chapter 3 location is amazing.
Well, let me know what I can do.
And Marco says, stay safe, Glynis. Yes, indeed.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Have a great
Get up
rest
here
of the
quick.
day.
Now, when I give you the word, hit that. Whole place is wired.
Black Bell,
I did errands
I got
for
a
the stream,
contract
and
here.
I will have to do errands
your
after.
life or your liberty.
That's okay.
We'd sooner it be liberty.
That's mighty reasonable, mister. Come here,
That's
let me
life.
take a look at
It
it.
interferes with your fun.
Oh, come on. Stop just there. Here goes your contract. All right?
Linda W. Yay, I made it to a live stream. Welcome, Linda. Just in time. Happy Thanksgiving.
That's how you want to do it?
Really appreciate you showing up. We will be live streaming on the weekends. I'm not sure when on Sunday, and I'm really not sure when on Saturday. And then free on Fridays and Mondays we're not live. But glad you're here.
Can't see you much in need of
Odog
my
has a
help.
question.
You're
Odog, wonder if we can get any of these horses. Yeah, probably.
back to the front. More riders. We're right here,
I
too.
might fail the mission.
Chunks.
It's much easier just to build up a bounty and just
See there?
let the bounty hunters continue. But there's less bounty hunters to deal with. Linda W, happy Thanksgiving all. I have coffee and I'm set.
Not a goddamn
I'm glad you're here, friend. Regrettably,
Let's tell them.
we only have about
Coming down the road.
4 more minutes
There's gonna be some
for this live stream,
when all this is
but you came in at a good part.
It don't matter if it's
The
idiots
weekends I'll
chasing it.
live stream for about an hour or so, and then we'll try to do two hours for Matinee Mondays and free roam Fridays.
Woo! Is that the last of them?
Yeah. You got them scalp hunters off your back.
Don't know how
For
those
now.
For now.
gamers do like the
So,
epic 4 to
You gonna
6
tell
hour
me about your Wild West
streams
days?
because
Run
I am
with Jimbo
hungry
Little boy
and we've
Calloway.
only been going for an hour.
The only running he did was away from a fight. And that's about the end of it.
Well, the man's apparently a famous gunslinger.
Yeah, so they say. But don't get what's famous confused with what's true. The ones of us that live that life, we
I
was
think Amazon was at
too
the
busy
door
being
because
scared for our
Sadie's
scalp
at the door
to
right
talk to
now
no newspaper writers
protecting
or
the house.
dime novel men.
Well, what were they like then?
This is
Those
the only
days
part
they
of
all talk about.
the mission
Same
I
as now,
find
I guess.
inauthentic, where she just has
Really
a satchel
longer ago.
or a sack of stuff
Alright.
instead of a carpet bag.
I'm gonna
You
need
would
your
think,
picture, too,
especially
if
since
there's
she
trouble.
since she
No,
is an
sir, no
elegant
trouble
woman,
at
that
all.
Black Belle would have
Can't be
a
worse
carpet
than
bag
drawings
with
on
this
the
stuff.
wanted posters.
Matching carpet
Yeah.
bag.
Great.
Instead, she's got
You
this
stand over
potato
there.
sack.
Oh, let me get this thing ready.
There, she does a little wink.
Ready? How do you want me? Like this?
Okay, I got it.
Then I guess they'll be on my way.
Here. Well, thank
See,
you,
and no,
Mrs.
Arthur
Bell.
offers to help her with her luggage, and
Oh, been
And,
running for
um,
20 years.
Black Belle
Suppose I'll
is.
be running till I drop.
Here comes the wink.
Just the way it is.
Hold on. There you go. I love that. Linda, Luis Salgado, I have to go now, but I love this streams and chat. Thank you, Super Antonio. Thank you, friend. Appreciate you being here. Shout out to Portugal. Speaking of Portugal, I believe they are remaking Shogun. I don't know who's playing playing the original, that guy. I don't remember his name, but I do recall that he was Portuguese. He was a Portuguese navigator. Those Gatling guns are pretty much one-shot kills. They just cut you in half. The swamp is so atmospheric. The way you're you slow down when you're in this kind of mud and that you leave tracks. Even though I imagine that developing the program for mud is pretty much the same as snow. It's just a little thicker and slower and a different color. We needed to shoot that teapot. And these frying pans. Arthur needs to shoot these frying pans. Levi, Elijah, in the final train robbery, I accidentally killed the horses, and I felt so bad. Yeah, we don't shoot horses on this channel. I hate losing horses. I remember every horse I lost, and now I never lose a horse because I'll just reload the previous save. I don't care about losing progress. I'd far rather lose progress than lose a horse. Marco, this is why Chapter 4 Camp to me has a special meaning. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but to me, it has a special meaning as I was playing it during some difficult times and struggles. I can understand that, Marco. Besides, Arthur's relationship with Sadie is pretty much at its peak, and Arthur gets to live under a roof for the first time ever, perhaps. Well, in a long time. And that's nice to see. I used to love Chapter 4 because I loved the Golden Turkoman. I would speed run just to Chapter 4 to get that horse. Fascinating, all these details, how they glued all these little pieces of paper on the walls, newspapers, and I imagine at 60 FPS we would actually be able to read them. Marco, true, and I got access to some good weapons and dialogue. Oh dog, yep, my favorite camp. Yeah, the M1899, it's a nice looking weapon. Linda W., I feel the same way about Chapter 4 and about my horses. You become so attached, it's crazy. Yes, indeed. It's the emotional attachments that you have to the horses. I don't think Rockstar anticipated or planned that. And I don't think they've ever figured out how to exploit it. Apart from adding they treat them like the cars in GTA Online. They just add a bunch of different breeds and colors and think that's what it's about. But I don't think they really understand the emotional resonance a horse has in this game. Oh dog, eventually I'm going to retry game and try to get a Turkman from start to finish. That's a good challenge. Portis, I played pretty much exclusively off glitched save files that have a stacked stable of high-level horses early in Chapter 2. I can understand that. I would redo something similar. Marco, I can't wait to get the Tiger Bay Mustang from the Bronte glitch.
Alright, girl.
That is a small horse for Arthur, but he's a good horse for Arthur. You can also get, if you're using the Bronte glitch, I assume you are in version 1, unless you're going to try to do a companion glitch. But if you are in version 1, you can get them from the Santony stable. Levi, Elijah, I lost Buell and I had the Legend of the East outfit, and I had to restart like 50 challenges. Yeah, it's frustrating, but we don't want to lose Buell. Linda, I agree, Antonio. It's kind of the same attachment we all have for Arthur. I agree. At any rate, friends, that's all I have for you today. I hope everyone has a great rest of the weekend. We'll be back on Sunday. Shout out to the mods, Odog, Marco, Luis Salgado. I appreciate all of you being here, and I'm not sure when we will be here on Sunday.